Hi, I'm Lauren Roxburgh, aka the Body Whisperer, and I'm a board-certified structural integration practitioner and a specialist in pelvic floor. So I am here today to give you guys a little bit more lowdown and education on 5 mind-blowing facts that you probably didn't know about your pelvic floor. Now, the first one is, did you know that your pelvic floor is actually a breathing muscle? So the way it works, just like your diaphragm, the pelvic floor is shaped in a similar structure, which is like a dome. Okay, so when you breathe in, your lungs will open and expand, and your diaphragm muscle will actually press down into your organs. Your organs will drop down into your pelvic floor, and your pelvic floor will expand and blossom like a flower. And then as you exhale, it will just naturally close, and the flower will turn into a little rosebud, and it will pull up into the organs, and then the organs will push up into the diaphragm, and then the diaphragm will push all the CO2, toxic air, and toxic emotions and energy out of your body. So that's why the pelvic floor is incredibly important, and it's a mind-blowing fact about the pelvic floor. So if you're not connected to your pelvic floor, if you feel tension or tightness or numbness or pain in the pelvic floor, that's probably teaching you that you may not be breathing as efficiently as you could be. All right, number 2, this is a big one. Your pelvic floor is essentially another sense organ. So have you ever had that feeling when you walk into a room and maybe you weren't vibing with the energy of the person or the people that were in that room, and you felt yourself do a little contraction, like kind of seizing up and clutching and bearing down? That's actually partially happening from your root energy center. So your pelvic floor is more than just an area where you feel pleasure and you have intimacy. It's actually an amazing navigation system, and I've also called it kind of the on-off stress button in the past as well. So remember that we do a lot of subconscious clutching and bearing down in our pelvic floor area, but that's actually a good thing because that's your body trying to send you messages. So that's why I get so excited about the pelvic floor, or one of the many reasons. If you're struggling with pelvic floor issues, you are not alone. So many of us deal with the discomfort and uncertainty, whether it's peeing when you laugh or sneeze a bit too hard, or feeling less confident in intimate moments. These little worries add up, affecting not just our body, but our confidence and our joy and our pleasure in our bodies and in our daily life. It's frustrating when something so fundamental becomes a source of stress and tension and pain. But I have great news, you guys. My free guide, Restore Your Pelvic Floor, is here to help. Inside, you will find my 5 essential moves to help you reawaken and reconnect to your powerful pelvic floor and deep core, while also helping build strength, releasing stress, and boosting confidence. These easy and effective exercises are designed to improve bladder control, enhance sexual sensation and pleasure, improve digestion, flatten your belly, relieve lower back pain, and even help you tune into your gut instincts, so you can say goodbye to those nagging worries and hello to a more radiant, empowered, embodied you. You'll find the link in the description below. So all you have to do is download the free guide today and start your journey to better pelvic health and a deeper sense of well-being in every way. Now, the third mind-blowing fact about your pelvic floor that you probably didn't know is that it is part of your actual core. It's the base of your core. I've actually referred to it, and others in the industry as well, as the pelvic core. So when we have a disconnected pelvic floor or pelvic core, we end up having most likely a weak core. And also, if our pelvic floor is too tight, too bound, too hypertonic, it's called, then our lower back can seize up, and then we actually feel disconnected to our actual deep abdominal muscles. So what I love about working with the pelvic floor and awakening the pelvic floor is that you end up having so much more connection to your actual core muscles, because you think about the core as, I always picture it like if you cut a tree in half and you saw the rings of the tree, right? The tree trunk. So those rings are actually the layers of the abdominals. So you obviously have skin and connective tissue, fascia and muscles and layers of muscles and bones. But there's many, many layers, and it's very three-dimensional. People think of the core as just the six-pack, but actually is going all around your whole trunk like a beautiful, big, supportive weight belt, essentially. So the pelvic floor is a part of our core. All right, I kind of mentioned this one already, but another mind-blowing fact is that our pelvic floor can be our stress on-off button. So I'll go a little bit deeper into this one. A lot of times people don't realize that we are constantly going through our day and subconsciously storing stress. Like you get a stressful phone call, or you get stuck in traffic, or you get a message that's making you freak out and stress out. Well, a lot of times we don't realize it, but we're actually kind of clutching down and holding and bearing down around that energy of whatever we're processing. So one thing that's really helpful is just to start to become aware of if you are doing that. And remember, there's a fascial line that's connected to the pelvic floor all the way up through the spinal cord, up to the jaw and head. So if we're feeling stressed, sometimes we might feel it in our jaw, in our shoulders, in our heart area, in our diaphragm, lungs, and guts, all the way down into the lower back and the root, the pelvic floor as well. So paying attention to this as you go throughout your day is a really wonderful way to be able to ride the waves of life more efficiently and release some of that clutching, bearing down energy. Now, it's not to say that the energy of clutching and like fight or flight and pushing through and force and bearing down sometimes isn't a good thing at times. It's not to say that that's the real problem. The problem is that when we end up doing only that, the force energy, the doing energy, the controlling, and we forget to do the flow and the surrender and the allowing and the integration, then we are actually, that's where we really thrive. So if we forget, if we're going too far extreme in one direction, then most likely we're out of balance. And it's never like it's not like you're meant to be perfect. It's always an ebb and flow. It's always a work in progress. And that's what true alignment is all about. All right. Now, the last mind-blowing, yes, that's my last one. The last mind-blowing fact about your pelvic floor that you probably didn't know is that it plays a huge role in your lower back issues. So it's so crazy. So over the years, I've been doing structural integration for many years now, since 2009, actually. It's been a while. So it was profound though when I started. First of all, I had the work done to my body and my energy system, and then I started doing it in my practice. The results were just out of control, insane, mind-blowing, game-changing, out of this world, incredible, where when you get the pelvic floor to open and expand and not be so stuck in clutch and hypertonic and more resilient and has the ability to expand and contract, which is actually a great parallel to look at life, right? We want to be able to both expand and contract during certain times in our lives. But the lower back pain has a huge connection to pelvic floor tension. So having an overly tight pelvic floor is an incredibly huge connection to lower back issues, similar to the jaw as well. So hopefully all of these facts you may or may not know already, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to learn about your incredible body and your pelvic floor, and I'm really excited to share more with you. So be sure to either sign up for my free guide, which is called Restore Your Pelvic Floor. And this is a great way to start. And then of course I have my course That's going to be available soon. It's called Awaken, the Power of Your Pelvic Floor. So much more coming your way, you guys. I'm so excited to share this incredible knowledge with you and help you feel empowered and connected to your body and to your energy so that you can enjoy your body more and enjoy your life and enjoy all of the juiciness of what it means to be human. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you.